Welcome to Angela's Busy Bees Garden and Homestead. Today I will be sharing with you how I have divided and propagating my houseplants for sale at the farmers market. And I've stated in a previous video that my goal this year is to sell 100 houseplants. So to make that a reality, I have started dividing and propagating plants from what I have around the house to make additional plants. The farmers market is generally from May until about November. So these are the first 60 that I will have available by the 1st of May. And of course, I will be transplanting and dividing more plants throughout the market season. But just wanted to share with you what I have going on. As you can see here, there are several plants. There are a few orchids, couple of the Mona lavender that I have just cut a stem cutting and just simply place it into the soil. The same thing with the pothos. All you have to do is take a cutting, stick it in water or soil, and it will root. I've done the same thing with the wandering Jew and other house plants that I have here on hand. And towards the end of this video, I'll share with you my host plants of where I have taken most of my cuttings from. But if any of you are interested in selling your vegetable transplants or house plants and what have you at the farmers market, it will require a license. I know here in Tennessee, it requires that you have a nursing license, and the cost for that here is $150 a year. However, my goal is to sell at least 100 houseplants, even though I will grow more than that to make sure that I have will have reached my goal. But if I sell about 20 to 25 of these plants that you see here, that will recover my money quickly. And this doesn't include the transplants that I will have for sale, as well as my blackberry plants and raspberry plants that I have propagated. Well, not that I've propagated, but they propagate themselves generally by just sticking it in soil. And so those will be sold as well. Also, another thing that you need to consider is that if you are selling at the farmers market, they will assess a fee. For me, it has been 10% at one, and the other one is 10% of your profit. And of course, you know that those are two different things, but I find that to be more than reasonable, and I have been able to gain a profit from both farmers markets and in all of my endeavors, even with selling eggs and produce as well. So that to me is not anything difficult to do. Also, once you apply for the nursing license, an agent from the U.S. Department of Agriculture will come out to your property to ensure that you do have a greenhouse. And luckily for me, I had my greenhouse last year, and then I also transformed it to be more efficient. So I know that is a go. Other things that you will need for the farmers market will be a 6-foot table, chairs. You're going to need a banner, ice chest, and it's not a whole lot of stuff. Some farmers markets will have those things available, and others are out in the open, and so you may need to provide your own tent and chairs if you'd like. Another thing that you have to purchase, of course, will be labels, your pots, soil, your host plants if you don't already have them already. But these are very minor cost. And then once you purchase them in bulk, you're pretty good for a significant amount of time. And to keep my costs down, what I do is I use these little pots here from the Dollar Tree. These are the larger pots, and they come 6 in a pack for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And so those are very economical. And my goal is for you to purchase the plant and then purchase your own pot. I thought about, putting these in nicer pots, but of course it will incur a greater expense, and I'm not willing to, get involved into all of that where I would have to sell these at a higher price. But this helps me to keep my costs down. And as far as soil, I always purchase potting soil from Lowe's for 50% off. And so that has really also helped me to stretch my dollar. Now, I have these plants under two shop lights, and because the height of some of the plants were pretty tall, like this Schefflera plant here in the back, I've had to use two paint cans. Now, you can use books, boxes, whatever you have on hand to elevate your shop light. So you don't have to use paint cans. I'm only using paint cans because I have a lot of them on hand. And another thing that I've been able to recycle is these pots that you see here in the foil. These were from Christmas or around Thanksgiving. I purchased about 14 poinsettias, and they came in these little pots and foil for 88 cents. Well, I've recycled that soil and sterilized it, and I've used in some of these pots. But I'm going to keep this foil and the pot inside because for Mother's Day I can create another house plant and put a spike in it, something attractive for Mother's Day and sell at the farmers market, or I can use it for another festive purpose in which someone might be interested in purchasing. But each of these trays that I have here, these were free from Lowe's. They were in the recycled bin. And so I have a total of one, two, three, and another one here that I'm working on. And I will be using this ivy plant to propagate some ivy plants as well. So I've got about one, two, maybe 6 or 7 different variety of plants, and a lot of different types of plants, but they're all house plants. And so I'm looking forward to, as I've stated, to try to sell 100 plants this year, which is my goal for house plants. But I also will be planting my seedlings or transplants for the farmers market, but I won't sow seeds for those until March. And just wanted to share with you how I'm progressing in terms of my goal of selling houseplants at the farmers market. Also, I'll be selling cut flowers. Almost failed to mention that. And of course, the Dollar Tree has been my number one supplier of materials, and I found this little vase, and it fits perfectly in this little tray here, which is another recycled item from Lowe's. And for other plants that are a little shorter, I found this particular vase here, as you can see here. But I don't want anything bigger that cannot fit inside of a cup holder of a person's car. That way it's very easy for them to transport from the farmer's market to wherever they're taking it. But these are just $1, Dollar Tree, and so it fits perfectly in this little caddy. And so this is how I'll be able to carry my fresh cut flowers, also to sell at the farmer's market. Okay, I'm not going to make this a long video. Just wanted to share this information with you, and hopefully it will inspire someone who's interested in making extra money. This is one way that you can make your gardening free, where you can feed your family and have it not come out of your personal income, but from a separate income from selling at the farmer's market. I hope you've enjoyed this video and hope that you have a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching and for your continued support. God bless. Bye-bye.